6 eating habits to read people like open books. Is there a person in your life you simply can't crack? Just ask them out for a meal. According to experts, our food preferences, the way we eat, and how we behave during mealtime reveal a lot about our character. Okay, so to know more about the person you're having lunch with, you need to pay attention to a couple of aspects, starting with Number 1. How they make an order. According to behavioral food expert and researcher Juliette A. Bogosian, who's been studying the links between food habits and personality for more than 20 years, the way a person orders something can say a lot about their personality. If someone carefully looks through the menu and asks a waiter certain questions, they tend to be quite indecisive in real life too. But it's not all bad. These people are really attentive to details as well, which makes them great leaders. And their ability to look through the options shows that they're open to new ideas and value the process of doing something way more than getting to the end result. On the other hand, if a person doesn't even look at the menu and orders right away, they're usually quite stubborn and set in their ways. It's a sign that you're dealing with a rigid person who has problems adapting to new environments. Or maybe they just go to this cafe every day and have the menu memorized by heart.
Which of these men would you say are more manly? And which of these women look as if they are more feminine? Your answer may reveal your opinion of the gender roles that define proper behavior and occupations for men and women. For many centuries, gender roles were pretty simple and somewhat similar. In everyday life, men and women shared the work on the farm and in businesses that were run from the home. Then, the Industrial Revolution helped bring about a pretty big change. There were new factories that needed workers, and the workplace became separate from the home. Men left the home to take jobs. Before long, people behaved as though it were absolutely natural for men to work and for women to stay home with the kids. But then, in the 20th century, some 200 years after the Industrial Revolution, gender roles went through another big change. When men went off to fight in World War I and World War II, women filled in at factories, offices, and stores. Many women loved these new opportunities. They felt as if they had been freed from the home and didn't want to return to homemaking when the war was over, acting as though nothing had changed. Many sought education in fields dominated by men. Soon they were becoming doctors, business leaders, and even heads of state. Some men who welcomed this change decided they wanted to be nurses, teachers, secretaries, and receptionists. More men started staying home with the children.
What type of tourism should be promoted? When we travel to new places, we gain new experiences and are affected by these experiences. In addition, these places are affected by us and our actions. Today, we will consider 3 types of tourism: mass tourism, sustainable tourism, virtual tourism. Each has its separate effect on the individual and the locale. The question we will address is, what type of tourism should be promoted? Let's look at the pro and con arguments for mass tourism. Mass tourism helps developing countries receive much-needed investments for roads and hospitals that they normally would not have access to. This infrastructure causes a multiplier effect, creating more jobs along each phase. But critics raise concerns of leakage, in which only a small portion of tourism money actually reaches the locals. Also, mass tourism entails environmental spillover costs. A tourist uses as much water in just 24 hours as a third world villager uses in 100 days. Should mass tourism be promoted?
Another island job is as wildlife caretaker on Kangaroo Island in South Australia. If you love all kinds of animals, this is the job for you. The advert says you'll be able to talk to wallabies, a kind of small kangaroo, play with dolphins, cuddle koalas, and sunbathe with seals on the unspoilt beach at Seal Bay. You would get about the island on foot, by bicycle, kayak or boat, taking photos and leaving only footprints. There is one potential drawback though. You'd need to be pretty brave since you might come face to face with great white sharks. Maybe you are not quite so keen on the great outdoors and your talents are more journalistic. If you fancy feature writing, photography, and making videos, you can apply for the position of lifestyle photojournalist for Time Out in Melbourne. You would be required to photograph and write about the city's coolest cafes and musical events. But you'd also cover tourist activities in the whole state of Victoria, including surfing on the Great Ocean Road, skiing at Mount Hotham, or watching the little penguins at Phillip Island.
Now in this lesson today, I'm going to help you with 5 reasons that explains that why you should learn English. The first reason why you should learn English is because English as a language is spoken worldwide. Now when I say that English as a language is spoken worldwide, here I mean to say that people do understand or do speak English as their second language in many countries. So when it comes to traveling or visiting different countries, if the people do not speak your language, then English comes to the rescue. So a little knowledge or maybe basic knowledge of English is also very helpful when you visit different countries and try to speak or try to get your way out in other countries. The second reason that I have for you to learn English is that English will open up opportunities for you. Now, if you have a good level of knowledge of English, you can speak effectively. Your communication skills will be great. Now, if you are seeking for employment or even if you're traveling, then English as a language is very helpful. And what's more, now if you are taking up a job that is related to tourism or that includes too much of traveling, or if you're taking up a job with an airline or even in the film industry or with the media where you're supposed to travel too much, then English definitely opens up that opportunity to go ahead and take up that job. Because if you can speak effectively in English, then trust me, you will also get that job and you will do great in that field.